Morning, guys. Wanted to come on here and do a quick makeup look. I haven't been on here for quite a while. I haven't really done any makeup looks, but I wanted to come on here and do one with you. So yeah, I just put on a hot pink shirt. Um, got this necklace on. And so I'm kind of feeling a little inspired to do a little bit of a pink look. So I went ahead and took out this palette. I really haven't used it. I don't know if you guys have seen this palette. These are the colors. They're really bright and bold. Actually, I don't think that the camera's really doing much justice to it. But they're super bold and they're very, very pretty. So I was thinking about using that one. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet, but I want to use that one. And then the other one that I wanted to use, I thought that the chocolate palette from Too Faced would have it, but it doesn't have it anymore. I pretty much, finished it. I have this Stila palette. You can't get this one anymore. This one's been a couple of years ago, and yeah. So this one actually has a really pretty pink that I want to use as a transition shade. So I'm going to go ahead and use that one. I know I want to use that one. So yeah, and maybe some of the blushes because the blushes are kind of cute. I have other blushes that I want to show you that I picked up a while back. I just haven't done any videos to show you any new things or, any products that I picked up. So, okay, we're going to try this because this is actually on my laptop and I have never recorded from there. So let me just go ahead and check really, really quickly on my phone. I was going to do it on my phone, but I want it to come out landscape instead of like portrait. And so I wanted to go ahead and try on my laptop and hopefully you guys think it's fine. Let me just make sure that it's coming out. Yeah, it's fine. And the colors are actually a little bit more muted here, but I can see from my phone that they're a little bit darker, so that's good. Okay, so let me go ahead and just start. Hold on. I'm getting a call. I'm supposed to be working right now, and I was going to do this video real quick. So I'm going to try to see if I can do it really, really quickly. Let me just go ahead and text really quickly. Sorry about all the interruptions, guys. Usually I'm working and I'm not able to do these videos, but let me see if I can just make let me send a quick message. And hold on. I will start right now. Okay, sorry. Okay, so let me go ahead and start real quick. So this is probably going to be a really quick makeup look. I'm sorry. I was planning on having some time this morning. Anyway, I washed all my makeup brushes, which I'm pretty excited about. So let me just show you my little cup right here. I don't know if you guys have ever seen my little cup. I got this a while back. I think it was in Target. I'm not really sure. And that's where I have all of my makeup brushes and stuff. I just recently washed them all, so I'm pretty excited about it. And then I got this cute little mirror several years ago. I'm sure you guys watched that video, but I got this cute little mirror at Dollar Tree, and it's so cute. So anyway, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and start with this Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and I actually use number 122, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. I don't know, all these pop-ups keep coming out on my screen. Not sure what's going on, but anyway. Okay, so 122. I normally just put it on with my hand or I use wedges. Right now I'm out of wedges, so I'm not going to do that. But you can use a brush. You can use, something like this if you want. I just find that it just blends so much easier with your hand. Just make sure your hands are clean, obviously, washed, and your face is clean. Normally I would use a moisturizer and stuff, but my face is very allergic to a lot of things, and so I can use moisturizer and stuff. I just feel like sometimes it breaks me out, so I just choose not to. But to each their own. If you want to use primer or moisturizer or whatever, you can. I'm just going to go ahead and put it straight from the bottle. And yeah, I just put it on the back of my hand. And that's how I apply my makeup. I just, you know, it doesn't need to be super fancy or anything. I just put some, like about that much on my hand. And then I just go ahead and apply it all over. Okay. And I really like this foundation because it helps with like pores and stuff like that. And I find that it's just the one that doesn't break me out. And so, yeah, it makes my skin pretty smooth. And so I'm just using my camera on my computer as my mirror. Wish it was a little bit bigger, but we're just gonna go with it. I don't have the best eyesight, guys, so I have to always use a magnified mirror when I do like my eyebrows or when I do like not my eyeshadows. I'm fine with my eyeshadows. It's just like my eyebrows. I need to see like every little hair and stuff. Okay, so let's do this side. I was actually going to wear a really pretty necklace that my sister gave me. But I didn't feel like the camera was picking up the color on it. It was like a jewel color. It was like an emerald color. And I know it looks kind of weird to put it with like a pink, but it just looks so pretty. Like I was wearing like a really dark hot pink color, and then with that jewel color, it just looked so pretty. And I was just feeling super inspired to do the makeup look with those colors. But I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to pick it up on camera. So I just took it off and I just put on this one, which is one of my favorites anyway, but it's just kind of plain. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I was doing. I was trying to figure out what to wear for this video too, because I usually just wear t-shirts, and unless I'm gonna go to church or something, I just keep it simple. But I know in makeup looks, people like to look a little bit more presentable, so okay. So I still have a little bit on the back of my hand. Let me just check really quickly with my mirror and make sure with my magnified mirror. I have one of these, and I have actually a bigger one than that, but I just have this one right now. So it looks like everything got covered up really well. I like how that looks, and it looks pretty blended. Always make sure you bring it down. And yeah, so it's fine. I'm just going to put a little bit more right here where I get a little bit of darkness, because I don't have a concealer right now. I actually threw a lot of my makeup away that I just haven't been using, and I had to get rid of it. I need to get new stuff, and yeah. But if I did have one, I would be using the Maybelline one or the one from Milani. Milani has a really good one. But the Milani, I would normally just use it for eyeshadows because it's really, it's got really good coverage, and it's just really thick. So it would make your eyeshadow stick really, really well. So yeah, that's what I'd be using. And the Maybelline one, I would use under the eyes because it's so thin and it goes really well underneath your eyes. And so yeah. Okay, so now we have a really good base. And so yeah, I went ahead and dyed my hair so you can see it that it's super black right now. So that's why I was kind of waiting to do the makeup look too, because I didn't want to come on here with all my gray hair and stuff. So yeah, so you can see it's like really, really dark. And I also did my eyebrows. I know you can't really see it right now because I got a little bit of foundation on them. So we're going to start with the brows. So I feel like that's really important. And I'm sure you guys know, I always use this one. I haven't changed it. I really, really like this one. I do want to try the one from Avon only because I just started selling Avon again, and I want to show you guys some of the products. This one I'm running out of. I have very little left, but I do have a backup in my makeup kit over there. So we're just going to go ahead and start right here. And I always like to start at the very beginning of the eyebrow right here. And you could do this both ways. You could just, you know, make little strokes up like this to kind of fill in. Or like what I like to do is I just like to make like a little line at the bottom. And normally when you buy these, they're really, really sharp, but once you start using them, they kind of lose their point. That's the only downside. So you got to have some skill for this. Okay, so then after I do the line from here to here, I like to go up here, like midway, and then just kind of create the little tail. Just follow the shape of your eyebrow and make like a little line like that. And I'm like hating this thing because it's already like finishing and I'm just trying to use it up. But yeah, so it's better when you have a fresh one. And so that's what it looks like. And then we're just going to go ahead. I'm not going to make them too dark because I don't want them too dark. And I'm just going to go ahead and brush them. And just brush them through like this. Just to kind of keep it natural, I'm just trying to fill it in a little bit just so you can see a little bit more darkness. You can see the difference between that one and this one. So it just looks a little bit darker. It's not like too crazy. I know that before I used to make them a little bit darker and super, you know, how can I say it? Just a little bit more pronounced, I guess. I would make them a little bit more sharp, and now it's kind of like, yeah, I just use it to fill it in. I don't really do too much. Just trying to get a little bit of color on them. Let me just clean my mirror real quick because it's driving me crazy. It's so much easier to do one eyebrow than it is to do the other. Yeah. Hold on. I got a little bit of foundation on it and on the mirror, and it's kind of hard to see with the lighting and stuff. Hold on. Every time I'm going to do a video, it's like I get a lot of calls. I'm going to have to call everybody back, and I'm going to say, I'm sorry, but I was on a live video. And they're not used to that because I haven't been doing videos for a while. Oh well, it never fails. Okay, so I think I'm just going to leave it like that. Like I said, I'm going to just try to do it as simple as possible right now because I'm just getting calls and stuff. And okay, so we're going to go ahead and leave it like that, and we're going to go ahead and move on. At least we have some color on there and it kind of looks a little bit better. So now that I have washed all of my brushes, which I'm super excited about, I'm going to show you some of my favorites. So this is one of my favorites. This is from Wet n Wild. I love this one for blending. This one is really, really great. This one's actually good for transition shades because you can pick up so much and you can just put it all over, especially me because I have like a lot of lid. So this one's actually pretty good. And these, I got them from my niece. I purchased these for my niece, but you can pick up something like this, like at Walmart, Target, Kohl's. These are the Real Techniques brushes, and you can actually use this for like concealer. I know it's not used for eyeshadows, but I use them for eyeshadows, so I like this one too. Let me see. You can also use like these if you have any, like from Smashbox. You can use this one. This one's really great for like blending as well. Let me see, guys. I got these from like Amazon, and I bought these for like Christmas presents several years ago, and so I like those too. And they have like different points and stuff. They come like in a set of like 5 or 6. Yeah, they come like this. They kind of come a little angled, but I like that. Not everybody would probably like that, but I like it. And where was the one that I was always using? There's some black ones that I have, guys, that I wanted to show you. But I'm trying to find it here. And okay, so this one actually came in my what is that palette? I can't remember. It came in one of the palettes, but it's like it's got two sides, but I like to use this one a lot. I really don't use this one as much, but I like to use this one for blending. So for right now, I'm just going to use these four, and I think that will be fine with that. Okay, so, but you know what? Hold on. I'm lying. I'm actually going to use one of these two. One of these, because I feel like this one's actually really good for putting on the transition shade first, and that's what I'm going to do. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to go ahead and take my Stila palette. We're going to start with my Stila palette. And I should have done this a little bit earlier because I don't want the foundation to dry up too much, because I like it to be a little bit sticky so that the eyeshadows will cling to them, but I mean, it's fine. And you don't want to have any lines, so always make sure that you kind of do this to them before, because like for me, the way my eyes are shaped, I get a little bit of foundation on here, and so I need to, like, you know, clean that up before I start. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and pick up, like I said, that pink shade that I showed you from here. And we're going to apply that as the transition shade. And yeah, hold on. I was just making sure that I didn't have any shimmer. You want the transition shade to always be like a matte color. And so I got some on here. And I'm going to go ahead and, hold on, I got to clean this mirror because it gets dirty. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start, and I'm going to go ahead and apply some right here. It's like right over the lid area. Right here. So you can see some of it right there. Now your transition shade should not be super like bold and like a dark color, because it's a transition shade. You don't want it to be too dark. You just want it to be like a light color with some matte to it, and you don't want it to be too heavy-handed, so you got to be a little light with this. Don't go too dark. You just want it to be a transition shade. I don't know how else to say it. I know I know what it means, but for beginners, probably you're kind of like, what? And I always like to bring it from right here all the way over here. And I like to go a little bit above, like that. And everybody does their eyeshadows different. It's just that I have a huge space that I can work with, which is what I love. I actually like that. And so, yeah. Let me just do something because it's bothering me. I need to take my little hairs off from my eyebrows. My eyebrow hairs off. So I have this little thing right here. If you guys don't have it, you guys should get one. It was something I purchased from Amazon. You can get these at Walmart too. I'm sure you guys have already seen this in my videos. You just kind of just clean it up real quick. And yeah, they kind of grow back faster than if you were to tweeze them, but I'm just not a patient person to tweeze all my eyebrows anymore. I used to do it when I was younger, but not anymore. So this is the easiest thing for me. And it just kind of works. And they're not that expensive, guys. I probably should have done this before I started my eyeshadows, but it's fine. It won't ruin the eyeshadows or anything if I do this. I'm just trying to get rid of all the little eyebrow hairs. I had already cleaned up quite a bit the other day, but I guess some of them grew in, and so I gotta take those off because they're driving me crazy. Okay. And you can also do a little bit of the top part. I know I always do that because I get really small hairs up there sometimes. And I just kind of just clean up. like that. A lot of people don't like to show that stuff, but I do. I think it's important. Anyway, okay, so we're going to go ahead and choose a color from here. And I always like to match my eyeshadows to whatever I'm wearing. A lot of people don't like to do that, but I like to do that. So that's what I'm going to do. And I actually want to try something new here. These are all the colors, like I said. They're pretty bold. And I want to see this color right here. This one doesn't really have a lot. I'd probably put this right here. I think that's cute for that. Yeah, it's like glittery. I think that's super cute. I'm going to do that. I don't want to go too bold because it is during the day, but if it was nighttime, I'd probably go a little bit more bold. So I think. I'm looking at the other palette too. No. I think we're going to go with this palette and this pink is actually calling to me. This pink one right here. And I know it's pretty bold. I'm trying not to use that one, but I don't see any other one. This one's kind of more purpley, so I don't really want to do the purple. But I guess we could. I mean, we could try the purple. Let's try the purple and then we'll add some pink to it. And if it's like too, you know, we'll add a little bit of darkness to it to kind of like balance everything out. We'll just play with it and see where we go with this. Cause I never plan. I'm just, you know, just kind of go with it. Okay. So this is what the color looks like. I like to apply the eyeshadow on my lid with my finger because I feel like the color, just the payoff is a little bit better. So we're going to go ahead and apply that. And that is really pretty. And it actually goes on really, really smooth. It just like slides like butter. So this is a really good palette. I like this palette. So now we're going to do this side. Like that. And hopefully on your side, you're able to see the colors better because my laptop is showing that they're like so muted and they're not really showing the colors the way that they should be. They should be nice and bold and just better. Okay, so that's the color. It's super pretty. I like that color a lot. So now I feel like I'm going to add some of that pink. I might want to go a little bit darker. I think that pink is a little too much. Yeah, I think I'm going to switch it, guys. I'm not going to use this pink right here. I'm going to end up going with like this one. This is a little bit darker because I feel like it would just be a little bit better. And like I said, it should be more of a daytime look. It shouldn't be so dark, but it's fine. I always go over the top. It's just how I am. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and use this brush for that. Or you could use something like this. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and probably apply it with this one. And then go ahead and blend it with this one. And if that's not enough, then I'll go in there with this one. But we're going to try it like that first. So we're going to go ahead and get this palette, which is the Amrezy palette. And we're going to grab this one right here. I'm going to use this mirror for that. And I haven't even taken off the sticker from this thing. But I've already had this palette for a while, guys. I just like packaging and I kind of leave it on there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and grab some like this. And you can see I have some there. And we're just going to go ahead and apply that right here, right on the crease. And I'm going to blend it. Once I apply the color, then I'll blend some to the top because then it won't have so much eyeshadow on it. So you want to go like this. And then you can blend up. Okay? But for right now, once you apply the color, you need to like, you know, use the color first. And then whatever's left on there, that's what you blend with. So we're going to go ahead and do this side now. And we're going to go ahead and apply it here on the crease. I'm going to take it all the way over here. Not all the way. I don't like to take it all the way to the middle. I just take it like up to like right here. You gotta leave some there. Okay, you gotta leave some space there. So that's what it looks like so far. If you don't have the other kind of brush, you don't need it. You can continue to use this one. These are super cheap and I love these, and I continue to buy a bunch of these because these are just so cheap and they're so useful. I love this brush. I believe this is Wet n Wild. Okay, so whatever was left on the brush, that's what I'm going to use to kind of blend up. And I'm going to go in a circular motion, little by little, just lightly pressing on the brush, not applying too much pressure, because then if not, it would come out like super bold, and you don't want that. You want it to kind of just be a nice, smooth transition from this color to this color to this color, and then to that color. So I got kind of like a 4-color thing going on, okay? I don't know if you guys are picking that up, but I can see it here. I got the purple, then I got the darkness, and then it goes a little lighter where I'm blending, and then you can see the transition shade on top. And then you can add a lighter color at the very top right here, which is like usually like a cream color, or yeah. Anyway, that's how I like to do my eyeshadows. Everybody does their eyeshadows different. I know my nieces do their eyeshadows and they do a really good job. I know I used to teach them when they were younger, but they've basically surpassed me already. They do some really beautiful looks. So yeah, so that is how that looks, okay? So you can see the difference. You can keep it super simple and just leave it like this, but I like to blend. I'm more of a blended look kind of person. I like it to just blend more, because I have so much space to work with. I know a lot of people don't, but I do, so I know my face and that's what I do. But you have to do what's, better for you. Okay, so now I'm going to do this side, and I'm going to do it in a circular motion, and I'm not even picking up any more product. I'm just doing using whatever's left on the brush, and I'm just going around in circles, and I'm just blending those colors. So don't pick up any more, especially with such a bold color. You don't want to add too much, because then you're going to... I know that sometimes when like they do the quinceañera makeup and stuff, they do a really bold look because they want it to last like all night. I don't really like for it to be so bold. I feel like it's just too much. But I like the more blended look. But everybody's different, and that's okay. Okay, so that is what it looks like. And I just kind of play with it, and I keep going back and forth and to see what works. So that's what it looks like so far. I think that looks pretty blended. And if you need to go back into the transition shade just because you feel like you lost the transition shade, we can go back to that with one of these, and we'll just pick up some more of that light pink color that we started off with. And I know we used another brush, but I'm going to use this one because it's a little bit it's just a little bit more handy for that. And we'll just put it here at the top to kind of like blend everything like that. Add a little bit more product and do it on the other side. And just there. Like that. Then if you have this side right here, I don't normally use it, but I'm going to use it for this so I can show you. I'm going to go ahead and go with like a cream color, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up the palette from Stila because it's the only one that has like a matte cream color. The other ones on the other palette are pretty shimmery. So you can go with like a cream shade. Sorry guys. You can go with like a cream shade or more of a whitish color. And you can also go shimmery if you want that to kind of like stand out. I like to normally keep it like matte, but you can do whatever you want. So I'm going to keep it matte for mine, and I'm going to go with like more of a cream color because I don't want it to be too like in your face. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up some with this brush. I'm going to tap off the excess because there's a lot of kickoff on those eyeshadows. And I'm going to go ahead and I feel like I still need to clean it up a little bit more with the little machine. It's because I'm going super fast and I should take a little bit more time to do this, but it normally does a good job. It's just that I'm kind of rushing because I know I gotta work. Okay, so I'm gonna add some color here. And I'm not gonna add too much of it, but a lot of girls normally like to do the whole, they like to add the concealer, like once they do their eyebrows, they like to add a lot of concealer under here. And you can do that. I just never really do it that way. I just kind of add a little bit, but you could do whatever you want. There's no right or wrong way. I just normally skip that step. I really don't ever put this. I'm just putting this right now because, you know, I'm just showing you guys how to do it, but I don't really do that. I just put the eyeshadows the way I just did right now and I leave it alone. I don't really have to put that cream color. I don't have to, but I'm just doing it for the video. So yeah. Okay, so I'm kind of happy with that. I'm just going to keep it like that because I'm, like I said, gotta go. I have several of them, but I'm going to just go ahead and do the CoverGirl right now. I'm going to go ahead and add some of this, a few coats, just to kind of put something on there because you kind of want to give it a more bold look. You don't have to use this particular mascara. You can use whichever one you want. I know I have the voluminous one from L'Oreal. I have another one from Wet n Wild. It's just, this is what I have right now. And I like to rotate them, so yeah. Sometimes I'll even combine a few. Like I'll put this one on because this one, you know, is dark and more of a waterproof. And then the other one like gives me more volume or more length. And so I like to, you know, use a few at a time. But for right now, we're just going to go ahead and do this. I ran out of my Avon one, and I really like that Avon one. And I'm not just saying that because I sell Avon, but I do love that one. It's really good. Avon also sells some pretty good shadow sticks and some eyeliners. And yeah, that's why I continue to sell Avon, because I do stand by their products. I think that they do a really good job with their products. Okay, so there's that. And then I wanted to show you, I'm still going to finish off with a little bit of glitter in here, but I'm going to show you these. These I got a few months back. I don't even remember. I think it was for one of my birthday, probably last year, maybe for my birthday. I want to say probably, yeah, because I think it was my birthday and my husband took me to JCPenney and they didn't have the Sephora anymore. And I was like, what's going on? So they ended up putting, I guess, like their brand or whatever. Well, I don't know. It's just not Sephora anymore. And so they came out with this one. I was actually looking for the Milk brand. You guys know how much I love that. And so this is a blush. And I don't use really much powder brushes. I normally use cream like this. And so I really wanted something that was not going to break me out. And so she kind of showed me some. And I was like, I'm very worried because I'm very sensitive to my face and I have to be careful. So let me just clean this one up because it opened up in my purse the other day. So this is the color for this one. So it's more of like a, I think it would match more with this one. And the other one that I have in my hand is more of a, it's got a little bit more red tone. This is more like pinky. So I'm going to put probably this one and so you guys can see it. So this is what I do. I apply it with my finger. And my hands always have to be clean. So I'm going to do it like this. And then I like it because throughout the day, my makeup will melt because obviously we tend to, I guess I guess sweat or whatever you want to call it. Your face just kind of like melts the makeup and it just looks dewy and it looks pretty. I don't want to look matte, but I don't want to look oily or greasy, and so I kind of like this. So let me look in the mirror because this camera is not showing me the true color and I don't want to look crazy. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see that. I think it's coming across good. But sometimes if I feel like that's not enough, like it's not too much color, then I'll go ahead and combine it with this one, because this one's got a little bit more of a red tone to it, and I'm going to add it on both fingers. So that's the color on it. And I'll just add, this one you have to be a little bit more careful with because this one is a little bit more pink. A little bit more, it's got a little bit more of a red, pinky tone. Okay, so what I do is I just drag it up like this. And normally I like to have a wedge, but like I don't have any right now, so I'm just using my fingers. These are your tools. And there you go. So you have that. But if you want to set it in place and you're the kind of person who likes to set things, you can use, you know, more of like an angled, I don't even have an angled brush. I got rid of a lot of my brushes, my face brushes. I don't like face brushes. I hate washing them and stuff, but you can, you know, pick one of these and you can actually apply it. So I'm going to take just a little bit and I'm going to top it. I don't like to matte it, but I'm just going to seal it just so you guys can see it. So this is the product and I'm going to tap some of that off. And I'm just going to add it on here. We really don't need it, but I'm just going to put it on there. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to go ahead and take this palette again, and I'm going to take that really pretty shimmery shade, and I want to put it in the very corner of my eye. So we can use this little brush, or, I mean, you can use, let me see if I have a tinier brush. You can use something like this. This is also from another palette, and you can see the edge on there. If you don't want to use your finger, you can totally use your finger. That's what I normally use, but I'm going to go ahead and apply it with this and see how it comes out. So you can see that I picked up some there, and I'm going to apply it right here. So I'm just going to dazzle today when people see my eyes, and you can see the difference there. And then I'm going to apply some right here. And sometimes I like to take it like a little bit further in, just so that people can see it a little bit more. You don't have to do that, but I like to do it sometimes. You can see that. Some people just like to put it in the very corner, which is totally fine. There's whatever you want to do. You can also use this kind of brush to add some color at the bottom. So I'm trying to think. You could use a dark color at the bottom if you wanted to. Interesting. I think I want to. You can totally bold this look if it's going to be nighttime. You can add some black or dark brown and then put it here in the very corner. You know, I can do that right now so I can show you, just so you can see how you can transition. I'm going to be with a really bold face right now. So that's what it looks like, right? And then we can add a little bit of a darkness. I'm not going to go too black. I'm going to go with like this dark brown and just add a very little one, a very little amount. And I'm going to use a clean brush because the other one had pink. So I'm going to use a clean brush and I'm just going to add a little bit of that brown. And I'm going to add a little bit right here in the corner, just to kind of make it pop. And you can actually round it out so it's not so just like a line there. You can round it out by just blending in circles. So now we have like a bunch of different shades going on. See? And just like keep playing with it, just rounding it. So I'm going to do the other side. But that in itself would have been fine. You don't have to do this step. But if you want to make it more bold or add more color, you can do this. And just make sure you round it out so it doesn't look so lined out. And just make sure that they're even on each side. Okay, so I got that. You can actually add a little bit of the brown at the bottom, just like kind of make the look a little bit more bold. Now there are smaller brushes for this step, but you can use this one for sure if you don't want to buy so many different brushes. You could use like a brush like I just used in the inner corner to add that little highlight. But you can also use this just very gently, because if not you're going to have like a big old mess down there. Okay, like that. And so that is the eye look, guys. I think it came out good. Hopefully you guys like it. That's just how I like to do it. Everybody can choose how they want to do their eyeshadows. I just wanted to show you how I like to do it. And just, I wanted to do something fun and do a little makeup look for you today. So there's that. Normally I do a bronzer. I don't have a bronzer with me right now, but you know, I normally do one right here just to kind of, I'll go see if I have one in my, what do you call it? In my little makeup kit right now, and see if I can bring that over here. I'm trying to see what lipsticks I have. I threw away a lot of lipsticks the other day. Okay, so I have all these things going on. These are a lot of Wet n Wild ones. I don't know if you guys have seen those packagings. I really like those packagings compared to what they used to have. But I also have this one, and I really like their matte ones. So this is like a mauve color. I'm going to go ahead and do that. But I wanted to see what else I had before I start. Well, actually, I have this pink one. This one's actually cute. So I might do this. Never mind. But this one is really pretty. I'm probably going to do this one. I like this pink. We're going to have a lot of pink going on, but that's okay. I'm going to do this one. I always like to use several lipsticks. I like to mix them. Okay, so there's that look. It's like super pink, right? So it's pretty, but I think it would be too much for me. Too pinky. So I'm going to add another one to kind of like tone it down just a little bit. And there's this one that's a little bit more light, more nudie. And I'll add that. To kind of lighten it up. I like that. And then the last thing is I'm getting my white desk dirty. And then I'm going to add a dark let me see if I have that dark one. I have this really like dark one. You can see I use it a lot because it has like different colors on there. But I like this dark one because I use it with nude and then I put the darkness around it. I'm just going to add that darkness from that brown. You could totally do a lighter look than that, guys. It's just what I wanted to do today. So this is the makeup look. Hopefully you guys like it. I'm still going to go ahead and add a little bit of a bronzer just so you can see the difference that a bronzer makes. I'm going to add these cute earrings, and then I need to go because I need to work, and yeah. So I'm going to add these cute earrings, which I need to start wearing more. Okay, so there's that. And now I'm just going to go get a bronzer really quickly. So that's what that looks like. So I'll be right back. Let me go ahead and go get that, see if I have a bronzer, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I haven't used this one in a while, but this is definitely one of my favorites. And I found some other things I'll show you. So I have this one. I'm sure you guys already know it. Everybody has used it. This is from Smashbox. I don't even know if they sell this anymore, but it does have a contour and a bronzer, so I definitely like that. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. I'm going to take this little angled brush from Wet n Wild just because I'm trying to show you guys some budget-friendly brushes. And we're going to go ahead and add this bronzer. So I have some right here. Okay, well this is more of the contour shade, so I'm going to do that first. And let me just, okay, like that. So I'm going to go ahead and apply it right here, very lightly, because I have a fair skin tone, and so I need to be careful not to put too much. So I'm barely touching the brush, not really like being very heavy-handed with it. And this is just kind of to make your face appear a little bit like thinner, so you guys can see. I don't know if you guys can see that. It kind of like shapes the cheeks a little bit. Yeah. And then I like to add some up here very lightly. Like I said, you don't want to look too crazy, but it kind of gives me some color. There. And this mirror is actually pretty good, but it's all dirty with makeup on here. Hold on. Let me see if I can see what I'm doing here, because I'm just using the computer screen. Okay. So that's fine. I think that's good. I also had this to show you, and you can use the same brush for this. This is a MAC highlight. It looks like this. And I'll just use the corner of this brush, so you don't have to get another brush out, and you can use that as your highlight right here, right above, like the cheek area right here. You don't need to add too much of this. Some people like to put it on their nose, or, you know, I just like to highlight right here a little bit, and then right here, and then sometimes I'll even put a little bit right here. You don't have to do that, but you know. Okay, so there's that, guys, and I hope that you guys liked this makeup look. I'm actually looking at the lipstick right now, and I like it, but I feel like it can go a little bit lighter. So, quick tip: if you think it's too dark, you can take a napkin or whatever. You can take a piece of paper like I am, and take some of it off. And if you want to give this to your hubby or something, don't waste the paper. Anyway, I feel like that's a little bit more of my style. I like it a little bit lighter, but since I can't really see the colors on this camera, I can't really tell. So I like it. I think it's really cute. I'll take a few pictures so that you guys can see the actual makeup look and the colors. Hopefully that came across really well. But yeah, I can see all the glitter on the eyes. I like how blended it looks. Eyebrows came out okay. I like everything. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to try to do some more. But you guys definitely need to give me a thumbs up to, you know, let me know you guys liked the video and stuff, because I don't want to be just talking to myself, guys. So yeah, this is the makeup look for today. Hopefully you guys liked it. I don't know how I want to put my hair, but what do you guys think? Like to the side, or I always just wear it like this. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up. You can share the video. I'm going to go ahead and post it on my YouTube because I haven't posted very much on my YouTube channel recently. Thanks for spending some time with me, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.